Hey guys, welcome back to Dmac Kustoms. In this video we're going to be having a look at all the repairs and alterations I've got to do to the inner fenders on the Area 51 project. Some of it's rust repairs, some of it's filling in some holes that aren't needed, and some of it's creating some pieces for making allowances for my shock mounts. So let's get to it. Got to do a few rust repairs, like on this piece here, which was originally riveted on the front of that and there. But this one's actually in pretty good order, except for this edge along here. So I started making up a new piece to cut that off and weld it on. I used the other side, which kind of isn't worse in some places and better in others. So I made a wee template off of there out of cardboard. This is one I prepared earlier. So that little template sits on there. So I used that to trace out onto a piece of 1mm and cut that out. And I'm about to cut that off, cut all this crappy shit off here and start reattaching that. And hopefully we'll make a nice little repair, and that pretty much be it for this piece. The rest of it's not too bad. It looks pretty scody. Once it's all cleaned up it'll be alright. There's this piece here from the other side. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's got a bit of yuck going on down here, which I'm not quite sure what I'll do to deal with, and a few pretty thin bits that the old tinworm's got in there and eaten that up. But again, it looks pretty scratty, but most of it's quite solid. But I might have to take this mesh off, but yeah, we'll get into that and let's do it. So I just spent a bit of time, trimmed up the old all the rusty scabby shit off of there, and left a little bit of material there, hopefully to give me something to weld to. She's pretty thin, this kind of, I probably mentioned before, this stuff is pretty thin steel. But I'm going to tack this on now. Might just tack it on with the MIG and do the final sort of massaging into position, and then probably check that it matches up whatever it is it's got to bolt up to. I think it's on the front guard, maybe, I'm not too sure. I think so. I'll do that, make sure it all lines up before I weld it all home and grind it all back. Yeah, let's get to this. So it's just roughly tacked in place at the moment. I've cut a couple of it out to sort of knock it into shape a little bit. Then check the fitment. Compare it to the other side. Actually, that needs to be pulled in a bit. I'll do that once I've got a bit more strength in the welds, but it'll be alright. We're going to go and figure out whether it's going to fit. Okay, so I figured out where this bit actually bolts up to, and that comes up into this inner part of the guard. But just noticed that previous owners have done must have been a rust repair or something down in here, and they haven't re-drilled one of the holes. So I'll be able to use my template to mark that. I might pay to do that before I forget, because I tend to forget stuff, and I'd hate to get it all painted and then realise there's a hole missing. This comes up in here. I just wanted to check that we're going to be within cooey of getting it to all the holes to line up, which is not bad once I sort of get all this sitting down how it's supposed to and trimmed away the excess. It should, in theory, be all good. So might just cut away a couple of these little tacks and do a little bit of hammering, and then have another go at sort of fitting it, see whether it's going to fit in there properly. Yeah, this is supposed to be another hole here for that one there. That one. Just go and have a look at the other guard. Back in a minute. Where is the other guard? Okay, have a look at the other guard. The other guard is really straight through here. This has got a bit of a kink in it. What I might do is just one of these. Perfect. See. Running. That's that. It actually worked a lot better than I thought it was going to. Definitely not fancy welding, pulling, walking the cut kind of stuff, but it's joined this bit of metal to that bit of metal, and once I've got in there with the old power finger there, it'll actually come up, I reckon, nice enough, considering it's going to be tucked up in behind the guard anyway. I just need it to be strongish and not rusting and falling off. My little cheap Chinese Tig, she's pretty, not bad. High frequency start, never used anything else. Only got it last year and I've never TIG welded before, so been a bit of a learning curve. Weirdest thing with the way it affects my garage doors, but quite funny at the same time. Come see. Okay, so that's my little piece all TIG welded in there. She's not, like I say, the prettiest of welds, but she's welded. I'll have a quick look from the underside. Looks better from the other side. That's alright, once we clean her up, it'll be all good. Just about out of battery, but I thought I'd show you this. This is that TIG welding all cleaned up. Just up the top here, I haven't filed it back too hard because she was pretty thin up there, but down here this is all sort of tidy enough for where it needs to go. I could probably take that down a wee bit more, which I'll do in a minute. Oh, look at my feet. Haven't really gone into doing anything, filing it up or grinding it or anything up the back there. I'm going to leave that there basically for strength. This is all inner guard stuff anyway, so and that's going to get a good edge prime and some underbody stuff squared all over it as well, so that'll come up just fine. Okay, so I thought I'd better drill that hole before I forget. I've noticed this previous repair, don't know if you can see very well up under here, but there's a repair that kind of runs through down here, little panel that's been patched in, and so I've trimmed out quite a bit of that lip, but there's just a bit of a kind of missed welding hole there. Might as well grab that while I'm here, otherwise again it'll probably get forgotten until I'm just about ready to put this thing in primer or something like that. But other than that, these guards were in pretty good order. So I'm pretty impressed, you know. There's some other funny little rust spots, but these are pretty solid. They look like shit, but they're actually really clean guards. I don't think they've ever been in any kind of accident that I can see. Few obviously little dents and dings and stuff like that, but on the whole they're pretty clean, so pretty happy with that. Okay, so probably shouldn't have used the TIG for that little repair. I was just one tiny little pinhole, ended up blowing it out, chasing it around for as you saw. But yeah, that little pinhole, drilled the hole so I wouldn't forget. Pinhole gone. That'll just seal it up. So I've just squared a bit of rust converter stuff on there for now. That'll seal it up for the short term until I sort of strip all this back and clean it all up properly and get it ready for some form of paint. Look at the other side. This side here's the side that the old battery was on, and she's leaked some battery acid down here and eaten this away. Strangely, the lip's in not bad condition. It's a little bit thin up the top there, but you can see this. I'm just trying to decide what to do about it, whether to, it's cracked all through here. It might be easier just to cut a whole new piece, whether we cut right through here or cut through there. I think probably right through. I don't know what these swages are in here for, but probably should try and reinstate them, but they don't look complete. It's kind of a weird place to have a swage, but I might start making a piece up and see how we go. So I've marked out the piece that I'm gonna make for here. Took the mesh out and basically just traced over it, and then took some measurements for these swages. I'm not even really sure what these swages are here for. All these rivets weren't holding the mesh in, it was staples holding the mesh in, so I don't know what they're all about, but I'm going to make up a piece that kind of just cut it off there, weld in a new piece down there. So recently got a bead roller, so I haven't really done anything with it other than playing around with a bit of aluminium, but this is as good a place to practice, learn on a piece like this. It's only little. If I stuff it up, it just goes with the scrape under the bench. So we'll have a look, and see how this works. That's right. actually know what I'm doing, but I'll give that a try. Do this. First time on the old bed roller, that's going to be cut out of there anyway, so I think that's probably close enough again for what I wanted to do. Cut it out, weld it in there, get all the ugly out. Ooh, look at that, see the daylight through there. Oh, not too bad, maybe a little bit of hammering where I've done that. Got to have lots of blocks of steel. Okay, so there's my piece. Might be about it for today. Got a couple of errands to run. It's going to come out of shape a bit, but that's okay. Square all that up and we'll come to weld it in. So what I'll probably do next is mark that through here, down there, slice off all the cancer. Slice it off all the stuff and weld this mammy jammer home. So, didn't have to go and run that errand just yet after all. Got another half an hour or so, so I thought I might just shoot back down and mark this out and cut her out. Just to tear it off on the planted thing. Okay. Sorry about that. See? I don't know if you can see it, but what I'll do is I'll tuck that in as far as it'll go. Maybe I should mark it from the back. Ugh. That might be better. White Chinagraph pencils that I use for sign writing and pinstriping. Work good on rusty metal. It's pretty pitted still through here, but I think it'll be alright. I might have to do, it might be alright if I cut it right on the apex of that, and then that hopefully will tuck in nice and tight into there.
Whoa.
this side here, but weld it from the back on the other side, so I've got to clean up get some clean metal, and that might be enough for today, and then weld that in tomorrow, and then maybe fix up these little Scotty bits up in here. See that guy? She's thin, boy. She's thin. And then maybe clean up these bits, and that'll be finished off. Drill these rivets out, get those electrical connectors. They're not going back in. Probably just leave the holes and whatnot, but yeah, it'll be alright. Alright. So, got it cut out, new piece tacked in. Probably should have come a little bit deeper up on this. I got a bit of a hole up here that might be able to fill it up with weld, but should probably will be able to. I just hate to admit it, but I do that quite a lot. Don't cut quite enough out, and then end up regretting it, chasing my tail, chasing shit that I should have cut out. But it goes into the back of the screw thing, so might have enough guts in there that I can sort of build it up, a bit of weld, and then kind of flush it back, and she should be all good. Yeah, quite happy with that. I haven't drilled the holes in that yet. I thought I'd leave the holes until till I had it all in place, and then I can reposition the old piece and mark it again, just in case one of me holes, like my piece shifted and it's not quite as accurate as I'd hoped it to be. That vent doesn't really matter so much if that's a few mil either side. I'm not even sure if I'm still going to use those vents yet. If I don't, I might just make up a block off plate, or I might just leave them open for airflow into the engine blade, getting a bit of extra cooling going on in the old the engine bay or engine compartment. A bit wrong. Yeah, I'll leave that for tonight. I'll weld that up tomorrow when the light's a bit better. It's getting pretty bit dark out here, and my lighting is rubbish in here. Sorry, that's just gently. I'll finish that up tomorrow, hopefully. Okay, welcome back. It's Sunday. As you can tell, I've got my Sunday vest on. It's raining, and pick up where we left off. Gonna weld up all this in here, get that all finished. Maybe hit these little bits in here, get rid of those. I probably won't film too much of that because it's kind of not too exciting, but I'll show you when it's all done. All welded in, all ground back. Done the little repairs here, that little return, and then just replaced that whole section there. There's staple hole, there's staples all through these things. Now, I haven't gone too hard, I keep chasing pinholes, and this thing's like thin, really thin. I've seen more fat at Paris Fashion Week. But yeah, on the whole, pretty happy with that. Pretty happy with my little swage thingy-bob there. That my first crack at that. But on the actual using the bead roller and anger. So I'll just basically give this a bit of a clean up, squirt some of that rust converter stuff on there. You can see over there. And have a little bit of a clean up because I'm making a big mess. But anyway, let's give you a quick look. Anyway, so ended up TIG welding it all, just because I like how you can. It's a bit nicer to finish, you know. We'll try to anyway in a piece like this. It doesn't matter that much, but so I got that all in there. I ended up blowing out big holes through here and in here, and chasing them around for a while, so I've left them a little bit more raised. I haven't really got any tooling to get in here to kind of clean that up, but I'm happy with that. Once we get paint and stuff on there, enough stuff to fill in all these pits and that anyway, that's not even going to be a concern. And yeah, replaced a little piece in there, and just a section of that from about there to there. But again, she was pretty thin. That went in really nice and easy, but I blew a big hole out the side of this, just even with my little inverter Tig dial right down. I'm going to leave the inside as it is there. I just don't want to take any more material out of that. I just want those welds to kind of hold it together. On the whole, pretty happy with using my bead roller for the first time in anger. It's not a restoration piece, so this is a custom, so close enough in this sort of area. This sort of things is good enough for me. Got to keep in mind what I'm building it for. I'm building it for a driver. I want to, I'm not into show cars, so I just want rust gone and solid metal back in its place. Cool. Maybe a bit of a clean up, and let's see what I get up to next. Maybe while I've got a big mess, I should hit this with the wire wheel and clean this up as well. More staples. And then I can get some rust converter onto this as well. Yep, I'll do that. Since I'm already made a huge mess, I might as well carry on making a bigger mess. Okay, let's do it. Move this over here. Oh, I got it away. There it is. A Viper. Get the worst of it down with this, and then I'll switch to other more forgiving tools of sorts. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Oh, it's just humid today. It's been raining this weekend, and now the temperature's come back up, and she's pretty humid. Got some the old rust converter stuff sprayed on there. Let that dry off for the required 12 hours or whatever. And just sprayed a bit of black etch onto these now, just to seal them up. And that's one. Turn them over when they're wet. That was one of the repairs at edge there, so I'm pretty happy with that. And that was all I did on that other than clean it up. And this one was the one we did the big piece, this piece. So that's all that bottom section there. Pretty happy with that. Good enough for me. And that little repair in there. So I'm going to put these out into the bake oven now to sort of bake that etch on, and then get on to the next bit. Was that? What nearly was that? Okay, so that's it for this part of the video. said at the beginning I was going to do like the whole front sheet metal sort of thing in this video, but changed my mind. Decided to split it in half and do it over a couple of videos. So we got as far as these pieces here, getting them done. They're all just in etch prime and bake ovened and ready to go into the next stage, which will be probably stripping all that off and repainting them properly. But they're all sealed up for now to kind of keep Tinworm at bay. Yeah, if you want to see the next stage of rust repairs and build covers for the shock towers on the 51 on the inner fenders, and make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notifications. If you've got any questions or comments, just do so down below, and we'll see you next time. Peace.